Hi guys, it's April and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 6A. My last frost date is around the end of April, and I am going to be separating out and thinning out my tomatoes today. About 2 weeks ago or so, I planted out all of these tomatoes. They have since come to the point where some of the containers, they're fighting for nutrients, so it's time to give each of them their own container. And I do have quite a few of them that I am going to be giving myself multiples of, simply because either I want to make sure that I for sure have that variety this year, or I'm running a few tests between where I got my seeds from. So that is what I'm going to do today. And if I have time, I do have a dahlia that has been rooted, so I need to up-pot it. So I might sneak that in here as well. But otherwise, it's just gonna be a lot of tomatoes. I've done this previously with my peppers already, so I will link to that in case you're interested. But it's not too complicated of a process, so I'll show you what I'll be doing. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with my most complicated one. This is the Rebel Starfighter Prime. And the idea here is I've got 3 different places I've got seeds from, and I just want to see if where I got them from makes a difference. And I think I need to mark each of these to make sure I remember which is what. So give me a second. Okay. I'm gonna make sure this is 2 and 3. Forgot to do that when I was making my labels. Okay. So first I'm going to go through and decide which of each 2 of the varieties looks the best. I'm going to keep that one. I'm simply just going to cut down the other one. So now I have my 3. And this is where things get messy. I'm going to fill this container maybe 1/3 of the way. And maybe I want to start with the outside one. It'll be easier to do. I'm going to do this probably a little deeper than I should, just to give it a little bit more stability. There we go. First one of that. And then let's see if I can get these 2 separated out. Then for this one, I think I'm gonna bend it over a little bit. Give it a little more soil contact. What I'm mostly doing is I'm not necessarily concerned about it growing more roots. I just want it to have a little bit more stability and be able to fit under the lights a little longer. So those are those three. Next one is Dipper's Delight, and I'm mostly doing this one because it is a dwarf, kind of like this plant. This one doesn't look like it's the same as the others. Okay. And it's just going to be the same process over and over and over again. This one I'm going to probably fill halfway because it is a dwarf type. So it's got a predetermined size, so I don't want to bury it too deep. Next up is the Midnight Roma. Right away, I can tell you. Just gonna lightly pull out the smallest one. Hopefully now that I am separating them out, some of the deficiencies that I'm starting to see pop up will go away. This one only had one pop up, but I am going to top up the soil on it. Next up is Eye Candy. Do I have 2 or 3? I think I got 3. Ooh, okay, so here we've got the pineapple pig. And I'm simply doing this one because I really want to try this tomato. So I'm upping my odds that I'll actually get a plant. Today, originally, I was hoping to plant out my cool weather crops, but we got a couple days this weekend into next week that are looking really cold. So I'm gonna hold off and do it later next week, which I believe by then we should be okay for that type of crop. They can take some of the colder dips, but I didn't want them to have to try and survive through a hard freeze if they didn't have to. Okay, this is the Kaylee in white. Oh, dang it. The Dipper Delight was supposed to be two different breeders. And I honestly don't remember if I just knocked out and which one was what. I believe this one was the original. I know, mark 1 and 2. We'll have to look back at the footage to see if that's right, because I'm going to do the same thing here. Problem is, I'm recording with my phone, while at the same time all of that information is on my phone. And I probably should have marked them when I made the labels, but I wasn't thinking about it. And this is why I am not a lab scientist, I just work with them. I'm a little too loosey-goosey sometimes for that. Oops. Broke off some of the leaves there. That should straighten itself out. Leaning just a little bit, but that's okay. Ooh, next up is Alice's Dream. This is one that I tried to grow last year, and I didn't get anything to germinate. So I'm going with 2 plants this year, so I know for sure I'm gonna get a plant. I made sure something could go horribly wrong. hedging my bets. It's funny how your perspective on these plants change from your first year to now. This is my 5th year starting seeds inside. I used to be so afraid that I was going to damage these plants, but now they'll bounce back. It'll be fine. This one is Sweet Tooth. It's one of those ones that just looked pretty. Haven't tried it before. Oop. Hi, baby girl. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm sorry I can't hold you right now. My hands are covered in soil. Okay, this is Cosmic Burst. Another new one that I am making sure I have a couple of. Just in case. By the end of this, I'll have way more tomatoes than I need for my garden. But the extras will end up in somebody else's garden. My goal right now is to just maintain 2 trays of tomatoes. This is Solar Flare. This is another one that's got 2 different seed companies. Ooh, this one's the California tulip. This is a Roma style tomato that is just gorgeous. And I had 2 pop up, and so I want to keep both of them. Hey, yikes. I'm just gonna get soil everywhere. And I will give all of these guys a good watering after I'm done. Okay, this is Pico's Pride, and I am doing 2 of these because it is a dwarf and it did so well last year. And even if, like I said, if they both don't end up in containers in my garden, these dwarf sizes do really well for a lot of people who, I mean, don't necessarily have the time or the gumption to maintain a indeterminate tomato plant. And so I do like to have extras of these dwarf. So that is the last in that tray that I need to separate. Some of these I just need to thin out. And top up. What is this one? This is the VT16. I did have stuff from 2 different breeders in this one, but the one didn't do so well. I only had 1 seed germinate, and it wasn't looking the best. Let's just put it that way. So I thinned that one out a while ago. Okay, this one just needs topped. We're gonna get rid of this little guy. And then I have to make a decision, don't I? This one feels a little sturdier, so I think we'll go with that one. Okay, these are the last 2 of the first tray. Oh, goodness. Thing about the Starfighter line, they all look a little questionable. Okay, now to start tray number 2. I've got a couple of eggplants in this tray that I'm not going to touch today, but I do want to have at least 3 plants. And then I've got a couple of plants that I'm not going to do anything with because they are still so small. So I'm going to leave those alone. First one I want to separate is the Nebraska wedding. This is always when I want one of these plants in my garden. And I know it'll do well for other people in the area if I want to gift it. This is the Where Kauai. Which is another dwarf. I always try to take the smaller of the plants out of the pot, because in my brain it's got to have less roots if it's smaller. It's not always the case, but usually it is, especially since it's literally the same varieties. And they've been given all the same conditions. One just sprouted first and or is doing better. This is the wild Fred. I don't think there's any right or wrong answer on this one. have the brandy Fred. Also a dwarf. Sorry, little guy. I'm gonna need to vacuum. I'm trying to keep my dirt contained and I'm not succeeding very well. This one is Metallica. Also a dwarf, if you haven't sensed the theme. Because I know all of my bed space is probably filled at this point, but these guys can be put in containers. Oof. That was probably a little too aggressive. Oh, it's got a lot of dirt on the bottom. Hold on. Oh no. So I kind of just mangled this guy a little bit. Okay, well. Let's see if I can get him separated out and maybe nurse back. Accidentally put the last pot on top of him. I didn't mean to. Oh man. Well, he might be the first loss of the season. Makes me a little sad, but it was my own fault. The rest of these just need thinned out and topped up. These ones only have one, so just gonna top them up. This is also why I do 2 to 3 seeds in each of these containers. Guy's looking a little stringy. The boar's tooth. One at a time, April, one at a time. Look at those roots. Okay, these are the last 3. Oh, we got some more really good roots. But I can't guarantee which plant those are coming from, can I? Good grief. Okay, since I have a little time, I am going to pot this one. You can see right here, a little root that's starting to come out. I checked them all this morning, and this is the only one that I'm seeing a root on. Oh no, that one's got a root too. Okay, so both of these. It's a good thing I brought 2 pots in. Okay, let me make labels. This is the LN, which I believe stands for lucky number, if I remember correctly. See if we can gently pop that out. we go. 2 cuttings up putted. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a spot under the light somewhere for both of these, and then I'm gonna water them in really, really well. But before I put this back in the original tray with the humidity dome, I'm gonna put some more of my soil mixture in there so that in case I've got more cuttings, I've got space for them. So this is just a mixture of my compost, some perlite, and some vermiculite. So it's about half of my soil mixture, 1/4 of the perlite, and 1/4 of the vermiculite. I don't necessarily measure it, but that's about the ratio I aim for. Okay. I'm gonna go try and find room for these new guys. So that is all I'm gonna do for today. I do have to go around and fertilize everything because it is Fertilizer Friday. So that is why the peppers have joined the tomatoes over here. And I also have to fertilize everything that's sitting outside right now on the deck. So I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna do that. If you want to continue to follow me on my journey, I do have some flowers I still need to plant to start seeds for, whatever you want to call it. I still need to start seeds for flowers. So that'll probably be coming up in a couple of weeks. I mentioned that I'm hoping next week that I will be able to plant out my carrots, my onions, my spinach, my lettuce, and probably some radishes and beets. I also have the bok choy and the cabbage that I need to plant out as well, but it's not going to be until probably at the end of next week. So that'll be coming up. But as I was saying, if you want to follow me on all of that, feel free to subscribe down below, hit the bell, do all the things to get all of the notifications. I need to wash my hands very, very well. I have dirt under my nails. It's almost like it's summer. But I do have an Instagram and Threads account that I like to keep updated sooner with things that are going on. I think I have photos of the new kiwi plant up there, or it might just be in my stories. I don't remember. Sometimes I lose track of what I'm doing, but I do have a kiwi plant that I need to plant out at some point, but we need to get the trellis set up first. But feel free to follow me on any of my socials, and I do hope I will see you guys again in another video. Heart you beautiful faces. Bye.